How's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and welcome to another review of the Boruto anime. We're covering episode 198 in today's review, and it is part 1 of Naruto vs. Delta. And this episode adapted chapters 31 and 32 from the Boruto manga. So, how was the episode overall? Well, before I get into that, just want to say if you're new to the channel and you like this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It would be pretty cool if you did that. Anyways, let's get on to the review. Now, this episode, it basically was pretty faithful to the manga material. There were some changes done towards the end of the episode regarding Himawari and Delta and Boruto. But overall, this fight was pretty faithful to the manga where Naruto and Delta are fighting, they're exchanging blows. Naruto throws Delta down on the ground, slams her, goes to hit her with a Rasengan right in the face, and she absorbs it with her eyes. So just like Kawaki, Delta's entire body is basically enhanced by scientific ninja tools. Her eyes are enhanced, her legs are enhanced, her whole body's enhanced. With her legs, she can basically extend them into these like branch-like thingies, and it basically used to impale her opponents, which she does to Naruto, impales him right through the gut. And it looks like he's down for the count, and Boruto wants to try and help his dad, but Naruto tells him to step down, and he's handling it. And he also warns Delta, as Delta basically threatens Boruto that he's going to kill him after he kills his father. But Naruto says, yeah, don't even think about laying a finger on any of them. That includes Kawaki too. You lay a finger on them, you'll regret it until you die. And this displeases Delta, who basically knocks Naruto down and pulls out that branch out of his gut. But it was all a ruse because Naruto was faking it. You know, faking that he was actually injured and weakened and weaker than her. He's trying to gather intel, and it didn't really work, so yeah. Now, after Naruto uses a lava-style Rasengan on Delta's legs, they immediately regenerate, so Naruto realizes that, yeah, jutsus like that are not exactly going to work on her very easily, because she can just regenerate her limbs. So, his best course of action is to attack her, hitting her in the torso. But he needs to get an opening, and Boruto on the sidelines is suggesting that, hey, we need to go and help him. We need to create an opening for him so we can land a final blow on Delta. Which Kawaki tells Boruto to stand down and let Naruto handle this. Because Naruto is definitely stronger than Delta. He's actually the one that's leading this battle. And Delta's the one that's actually losing. And at this rate, yeah, she's going to lose. So just let it play out. Also, I want to mention, I thought it was kind of funny how Kawaki mentions to Boruto that it's like they're dancing, basically ballroom dancing, where Naruto is taking the lead and Delta is following the lead. And I have to say, Kawaki, how do you know about dancing? I mean, considering, you know, your whole life you were basically abused by your father, you didn't know anything about the outside world, then you were stuck at Kara for many years, and now you're just for the first time experiencing, you know, what real life and actual life is like. So, did he, like, learn this during his time at the Uzumaki house? Not really sure, but I just thought it was funny. Now, it's abundantly clear at this point that Delta is struggling against Naruto. Naruto still has a lot up his sleeve that he hasn't even utilized in this battle. But Delta has her own trump card, which she fires at Naruto. It's basically this laser beam. It's this purple laser beam she shoots out of her eyes that almost hit Naruto. And Kawaki explains that it's very dangerous because if it hits anything, it destroys whatever it hits on a cellular basis and just destroys it. Which we see a tree completely get disintegrated behind Naruto. Even Naruto's regenerative abilities would be basically no match for this attack. That's exactly what it was designed for. But unfortunately for Delta, yeah, she's having a hard time hitting Naruto as he's invading every time she tries firing at him. But Naruto points out to Delta that, yeah, you can't fire that off just recklessly all the time because it consumes a lot of chakra and it's definitely going to wear you down. But Delta explains to Naruto that, well, all I need is one hit. One hit and you're done. But like I said, she tries to fire a bunch of them at Naruto, but she keeps missing and she's wasting her chakra. She's definitely struggling a lot here. In an act of desperation, Delta comes up with a strategy right on the spot to hit Naruto with one of her laser beams. And she ignores Naruto's earlier warning of not laying a finger on the kids in order to enact her strategy. So she immediately goes to shoot the kids with a laser beam. And Naruto punches her out of the way. And that's when she decides to go after the kids and punches Boruto right in the face, knocking him back to Naruto. And that's when she grabs Himawari. Boruto tries to throw a vanishing Rasengan at Delta, but Delta's drone detects it, and she absorbs his Rasengan. That's when she throws Himawari right up into the air, and decides to blast her with one of her laser beams. Naruto jumps in the way to shield Himawari, and the two of them are about to get blasted by Delta's laser beam, and Boruto fears the worst. However, our boy Kawaki saves the day by shielding the two of them with his arm, which completely disintegrates his arm. But I like how Kawaki basically tells them that, yeah, I had no choice to do this. If I didn't step in and the Hokage died, yeah, we'd all be dead, so I had to do this. But Boruto, you know that vase? I think we're even now. And I don't know. I like how Kawaki thinks that, yeah, I broke the vase, I lost my arm, so I guess we're even now. Even Boruto's over here like, you idiot. This is not the time to bring that up. I don't know. I thought it was funny. But we have Delta over here who's super angry. Because, yeah, she's not exactly happy that Kawaki injured his own body, considering he is the vessel. So, yeah, she's going into rage mode over here. And that's where the episode comes to an end. Now, overall to me, I thought this was a great episode and a good adaptation of chapters 31 and 32 from the Boruto manga. I think this episode did a very good job at a number of things. I think it did a good job portraying Naruto as actually being stronger than Delta. In the manga, it was a bit problematic, and I know a lot of people complain that there were power scaling issues as to why Delta is so powerful and actually giving Naruto a hard time. But as we can see in this episode, yeah, Naruto seems to be toying with Delta. He doesn't seem to be struggling very much. Yeah, at first it does seem like he's struggling, but he was doing that intentionally to get intel from Delta. So, I like that. I like how Naruto is portrayed as, toying around with Delta in the anime version of this fight, whereas in the manga it does look like he's struggling quite a bit. Also, I like some of the changes that were done in this episode. There's a couple of changes that have been done during this arc that I haven't been the biggest fan of. Just a couple. Most of the changes I'm fine with. In this episode, I'm fine with the changes here as well. Because in the manga, Boruto is the one that throws a Vanishing Rasengan at Delta as she's fighting Naruto. And it's because of Boruto that it puts Himawari in danger. Whereas here, they change things up, whereas Delta's the one that actually instigates everything and actually attacks Boruto first, knocking him back to Naruto, and then grabs Himawari and throws her up in the air. Because it shows that Boruto is actually a lot smarter now. And I'm glad that Boruto didn't act recklessly like he would in the past. After Kawaki basically talked Boruto down, he basically realized, yep, there's nothing I can really do. I'll just let Dad handle it. So I like that Boruto wasn't the one that instigated everything and actually was the one that almost caused Himawari to die. So, good job, anime. Now, another thing I liked was Delta's laser beams. Because in the manga, the laser beams look very generic. They don't even look that impressive at all. Despite the fact that they can destroy Naruto if he's hit by them. And, yeah, when they're fired off at Himawari in the manga, yeah, it looks like Naruto could easily invade them. Because they don't look that impressive. They look pretty small. Whereas here in the anime, they actually look pretty deadly and pretty devastating if you get hit by them. When Naruto and Himawari were about to get hit by them, it didn't look like they had much of a chance to escape from it. So, yeah, I gotta give the anime kudos there. They made the laser beams a lot more deadly and a lot more interesting to look at visually. Especially when Delta fired them off at Himawari. They looked a lot cooler than they did in the manga. Just saying. Now, one thing I disliked from this episode was the padding that was done in the episode at the beginning. This is something I'm starting to notice with this arc, as they're starting to pad out scenes at the beginning of the episode, which are scenes from the end of the previous episode, and they're reusing it again at the beginning of the episode. This is something that's been done in a lot of other anime series, especially long-running anime series. Naruto's done it before. So, yeah. Not exactly the biggest fan of it, and I don't like it when series do that. My Hero Academia Season 5 is currently abusing that right now, and it's actually getting on my nerves if I'm being completely honest. So hopefully they start reducing this, because it is kind of getting annoying seeing the end of the previous episode being just reused once again at the beginning of these episodes. It shows obvious padding to these episodes, and I'm not a big fan of it. So before I close off the video, I want to mention that I noticed there's quite a few people online that are pretty upset with this episode or not satisfied with it, or they felt it was underwhelming compared to episodes like episode 65, 175, or 189, especially 189, which that episode set the bar up ridiculously high. And I definitely want to see some upcoming fights in that style, but a lot of people are saying that this episode they were expecting it to be up to those levels of, animation and art style. And I just want to say to those people that are disappointed with this episode, just be a little patient. This is only part 1 to this fight. There's a lot more banter going on between Naruto and Delta in this episode. Naruto was trying to gather some intel from Delta, so he wasn't really trying very hard. So I can understand why people were a little disappointed with this episode, but I just want to say, be a little patient. Next week's episode, Naruto is going to get a lot more serious because Delta kind of tried to kill Himawari. And Naruto warned her that, hey, if you lay one finger on these kids, yeah, I'm going to make you regret that. And Naruto's about to make her regret that in next week's episode. And since it's only adapting one chapter next week, there's going to be a lot of additions in this episode, so I'm expecting some pretty good animation in next week's episode. So I'd say to those people, look forward to next week's episode. You might actually, change your mind on this fight when you see next week's episode. So just be a little patient and, look forward to next week's episode, or at least give next week's episode a chance. So guys, that's all I got for this week's episode. So Boruto episode 189 was a great episode in my opinion. The padding at the beginning did hurt the episode. I'm going to deduct 1 point for that. But overall, this was a fine episode in my opinion. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. So guys, in the comment section down below, let me know what you thought of this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Post your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good day, everyone. Or night, wherever you're at. See ya.